Just when you thought it was safe to listen to this podcast, the 2023 Attack of the Killer Podcast Award Show is back. And this time, it's personal. 2023 Attack of the Killer Podcast Award Show Part 2 on this episode of, well, you know.
Attention planet Earth and beyond. Stay tuned for Attack of the Killer Podcast. 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 That's one for the show. Yay.
What?
Welcome back, everybody, to Part 2 of the 2023 Attack of the Killer Podcast Award Show. I am your host with the most, Insane Mike. And this is it, folks. This is our top 5 picks of 2023. Part 1 was just kind of a warm-up for this. Part 1 is like the tech awards that are done at the Oscars that they don't even bother to televise.
Oh, geez.
This is the real deal right here. If you didn't listen to Part 1, first of all, what the hell's wrong with you? Why would you start with Part 2?
Who would do that?
I don't know.
What kind of crazy person?
No, they're just we'll talk about them later. However, what we've done is spent the past few months catching up on as many horror films as we could that have come out this year, and we've each ranked our top 10 favorites of the year. We've already covered 10 through 6, so now we're down to the top 5, our favorites for 2023. So be warned, there may be spoilers, because we're pretty excited. We may
We'll
accidentally
try not
slip.
to, but yeah.
Yeah. Now, we couldn't have done this show if it wasn't for our attackers. What's an attacker? I'll tell you. An attacker are those who donate to the show and keep it going strong. And because of their support, they become part of the Attack of the Killer podcast family that we call ... the attackers. Now, if you become an attacker, there are tons and tons of benefits that you can get. You can get bonus episodes of the show, videos, membership card, sticker, and certificate. You can get original art by me called Mikey's Monsters. You can also get invited to our exclusive chat, the Attack of the Killer chat, monthly horror hangouts, and watch parties. There are so much more, and all of it can be yours. All you have to do is go to jointheattackers.com, pick the tier you want. Again, that's jointheattackers.com. Help support the show like these amazing people do.
Man, these guys are so cool. We're talking about Timothy Lennerer, Roman Doppelfeld, Larry Watanabe, Brett Royer, Seth Key, Jessica Irish, Chris Cook, Brian Gunsel, Stefan Sitter, Brandy Moore, Andrew Moeller, Rod Hutchinson, Carmen DeHague, Abraham Moreno, Andrew Bentler, Casey Kelderman, Tony Miller, Mike Clayton, Rose Talashoma, Abe Kirshner, Lisa Cavalier, Holly Berg, Bill Fisher, Emily Randolph, Greg Diedrich, and Dallas Paris. What a list.
An amazing list, and you can join that list too. Again, go to jointheattackers.com. Also, while you're out there doing stuff, be sure to go to our YouTube channel and check out our new playlist we got going on, Recasting with Christian Slater. What Jason has done is painstakingly gone back through every episode of the show.
I know it took lawyers hours of time to get through all these celebrities' contracts and allow us to pull out the segment we used to have on our show and get it on YouTube. It's been a feat. It's been very expensive. That's where all the Patreon fees go.
We want our dear friend Andy to get recognized for his amazing impressions. So we're starting a playlist. We have started a playlist of taking all of his classic bits from his segment, Recasting with Christian Slater, and putting them on YouTube for all of you guys to hear. So go to our YouTube channel, check out Recasting with Christian Slater. And now it's time to introduce you to the podcast crew. He is such a drama queen that he won an Oscar in his sleep. Tad.
I wish I slept. Thanks, guys.
He has won an Emmy, a Grammy, an Oscar, and a Tony. That's right. He got them all. Jason.
Hey, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in. Really glad you could make it to the ceremony. This is it's a very exciting night for us all.
That's right. There's people tripping on stairs and slapping faces. This is the real award show.
Real.
So let's get into it, guys. The top 5. You guys ready?
Dude,
You guys
so excited.
stoked?
Yeah, I was double checking my list, and I'm really excited because I don't think we've only talked about one of the 5 I have left. So either we all have these same top 5, or we're gonna. I don't know. I'm just really excited.
Here's the interesting thing inside look at my list here.
Uh-huh.
One we've talked about already in 10 through 6. 2 of them got brought up on the bonus episode.
Oh, snap!
Whoa.
Well, the attackers will have a clue.
I'm saying no one's mentioned any of mine at all. So
Well,
Oh, wow.
watch good shit. You might.
All right, so Jason, start us off with your number 5.
Well, as we talk about every week, Mike's the authority and stickler on genres and what it means and the definitions of. And,
Why do we have to label
but I
things?
went ahead and I looked and I made sure that the word horror was on IMDb's genre labeling, because, this one questions it, sort of, but it does. And I know neither of you two have watched this one yet, but as Mike also alluded to, this is where A24 definitely gets onto the list.
Oh, it's
We're talking
happened.
about the 3-hour. I wished
Oh
it was
my
longer.
God.
I wished
Oh
it was
my God.
longer. I'm not, but on the other hand, it didn't feel like it at all. It's just because it's madness. But we're talking about Ari Aster. That's right. One of my favorite new directors. His film Beau is Afraid.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. What were you thinking? Anyway,
I had no clue.
so
forgot about this one.
A24. Yeah, so the main character Beau is played by Joaquin Phoenix. Can't do any wrong. He's amazing. A reserved man who makes regular visits to a therapist to manage his anxiety finds himself challenged when he embarks on a tumultuous and emotional odyssey to get home to his mother. This movie's amazing because it's like, just Odyssey. Yeah, that's a good word for this because it's very epic. It starts literally at his birth from his point of view. That's cool enough, right? But then Joaquin, he gets dropped on his head when he's a baby, and doesn't turn out right. And it also feels like he's a little bit schizophrenic. He's paranoid. He's got a lot of things in his head. But this movie's neat because it's insane, and and it's all taking place from his perspective. So
So it's a-
imagine a film.
Joker prequel.
No, but imagine a film. I mean, maybe. No, but
I saw it on YouTube, bro.
it's from the perspective of a person with schizophrenia with mental illness, but we're seeing a literal thing of what his brain is doing to him as this story plays out. It's fucking madness, and it is pure insanity, and there's absolutely a story, but how it gets there is just crazy town. And Parker Posey's in this.
Oh, sounds like a great
Nathan
cast.
Lane is in this.
Oh,
Amy
wow.
Ryan. There's lots of great people, great cast, great score. It's just, and I love Joaquin. But this is by far, hands down, the most unflattering role he'll ever play in his entire life. Because if you see the trailer or see the poster, he's very chunky. And they made him old and bald and white-haired, and he's naked in half the movie or in his little tidy whities, and it's just not flattering in any way at all. And you follow him, this dude who surprisingly lives by himself, without support or help, and he needs to go find his mother. And it's got some definite Ari Aster-isms in it as far as the sequence where he learns about what happened to his mother on his way to his mother's. It's
Does she saw off her own head with a piano wire?
close. It's more. The scene is more fucked up than that, probably. But it's just unnerving. It's just a journey of awesome
You would think
madness.
yeah, this would be right up my lane, but I'm like, my anxiety has it like
Yeah,
I'm like, I don't know if I can handle it. Like,
and
I don't
absolutely.
know. And plus, a lot of reviews keep bringing up like, maybe like A24 should have made some notes. Like, it's like this is a director's cut of a director's cut, where it's
Yep.
like maybe
Absolutely.
roping it in a little bit would have helped it a little, because 3 hours of anxiety is a little much, Jason.
Yeah, but no, because the author, the director, should get to tell his story and his vision. And if it takes 3 hours, and if that's the ride he wants to put you on, then it's not his fault. It's yours for not being able to handle it. And it's hard to handle. It is very nerve wracking and anxiety filled for sure. I mean, a lot of these movies are anyway. As somebody's hiding from a killer, it's hard to do or whatever. But also there's no other movie like it. And like I said earlier, to get on my list, it's on my list because I could not stop thinking about this movie. Like, even though it's madness and insanity, there is a story there, and because it's so fucked up and it's Ari Aster, you're like, what? What did that mean? Did this mean that? Or, you'd spend the next week putting all these things together, and that was really fun for me, and just examining what some of the themes were about. I had a lot of fun with that.
How many YouTube videos did you have to watch about it?
Oh, dude, so many. I'm not kidding. There were a bunch. I'm like, you got just to see what everyone's trying to figure out this fucking mess. I mean, I watched a lot too. So I loved that. Yes, and I bet they wish they gave notes, because I'm looking at the budget versus the box office, and so I see why. Well, technically on paper, it's a definite flop. But I think this is filled with art, and I'll fucking take it all day. So
It makes me think of I'm gonna butcher this, but the guy who did It Follows, and he has like a 3 name. But anyways, he followed up with that movie with Andrew Garfield, and
yep,
they
that movie's
basically
fucked too.
yeah, they like backed up a truck of money to him after he made
Yep.
had one success, and they're like, do what you want, and he made it, and commercially and box office everywhere, it sort of just flopped. I really liked it. It was like Under the Silver Lake or something like that.
Yeah,
but,
that movie's a mind fuck.
but it was really fucking cool. But like,
it's really good.
yeah, but it's like,
I don't know if there's that.
I'm a big proponent for art.
Yeah.
But Hollywood is a business, and it's like, is this going to hurt
Yeah,
Ari Aster? Like,
a good question.
Well, A24 question next time they back up a truck of money and say, you have Joaquin Phoenix, Nathan Lane, and 3 hours, and we'll let you do whatever the fuck you want. When it costs them money, when they lose money on it,
it's losing money. I don't think
It's not going to
is-
win awards.
Yeah, it's not the biggest budget in the world. It's only $35 million. That's really low in general.
Right? Yeah.
But to only make 11.5 back, that hurts. But
But A24, they're
doesn't
not
have
they're not that studio anymore. I
No.
mean, after winning every major award at the Oscars last year is going to change things, whether they want to say it or not. So they're not just out to get
Yeah.
accolades. They need to
Yep.
make money too. So
Yep, but this one definitely falls on the side of 1,000,000% to me anyway. This is complete art, and I loved it for that. I love the cast. It's one hell of a movie. That it's an experience. So I loved it, and I still think about it, and it's a bummer that it didn't do better. But again, at the same time, I'm like, man, I don't care. I like it for what it is. So made my number 5. Beau is Afraid.
Ted, what's your number 5?
I just want to say I have like 11 days off for Christmas, so hopefully I can fit that and Flowers of the Killer Moon. Both of
Only those
movies.
two. That's it.
Yeah, the two epic long movies this year. My number 5 is on the other end of the spectrum. It's not art. It is blood, guts, and fun. It is Evil Dead Rise.
Yeah.
I fucking love this movie. There's not many franchises that are still rocking it and haven't had a bad entry, in my opinion, and Evil Dead is one of them. Evil Dead in a High Rise. We talked about it. I've talked about it in length on the probably on what we watched, but this one, yeah, I need to go back and rewatch it again. But we saw it in theaters. I had a blast with it. It was something that was supposed to go straight to streaming. Tested so well, they decided to put it in theaters, and I'm so glad they did because it was a blast watching in theaters, just like the reboot was. And I hope this kickstarts the franchise, and we get a new Evil Dead movie every 2 or 3 years from Raimi and Campbell and the team. And I love that it's like we're not getting the same characters every time. It's like the basic lore of this book opening up and fucking people's lives over in a new setting. I'm cool with that. Just keep doing that. Let's see what the Necronomicon does in Iceland. Let's see what it does, I don't know, Sweden. Let's just take it elsewhere. Let's see where, take it further than the High Rise. Let's keep going. Doesn't all have to be a cabin in the woods.
Yeah.
And keep getting young talent to make these movies too. I love that too.
Oh, Alyssa Sutherland, you are worth watching. And then her
Yeah.
face when she goes bad, Jesus, she's fucking terrifying.
Yeah.
This movie's so awesome. It didn't make my list partly because it was suffered from came out in April, so it's old to me, and it just didn't. Oh, I love it, but it just missed my top 10. But man, this movie's so good.
It's so good. It's my number 5 too.
Twinsies!
Yay! Now we're twinsies. Yeah, it's definitely good. Yeah, does this fall in that category of like stuff to children thing you were talking about before?
Kinda.
Because what even makes this more of a gut punch when it comes to bad stuff happen to kids in this is that we spend a good chunk of getting to know these kids and their angst and their troubles and their
Yeah,
lives.
we've never really had like the family aspect in an Evil Dead movie. It's always been
Yeah.
teenagers in a cabin or
Yep.
guy time traveling from his hardware store.
We and so like when stuff are happening to the kids in this movie, it's far more impactful. Whether you have kids or not, I feel. It's not like in the Blob remake where, the little blonde-haired kid gets eaten by the Blob, and the best thing we know about him is he got like 2 little zinger one-liners in before he gets eaten by the Blob. These are characters that we've been following and caring about, and the fact that they're kids and the nastiness that happens. Dude, but I'll take I'll take a ton more of Evil Dead movies in this vein if we can get more of the body part mesh monster at the end.
Ugh.
That was freaking cool. I wanted to see so much more of that. Just all the arms flailing and everything. So cool. So cool.
So creepy.
Yeah, so love it. Hey, I'm just a little off track, but not really. Speaking of the franchise, Simon and I just Sunday did a Evil Dead 2 Army of Darkness double
shit.
feature. So his first time with those. And he loved them. But oh my God. It's interesting that the franchise is going in this direction after the direction the original 3 films went. Because I don't know if I've ever done it before, watching Army of Darkness directly after Evil Dead 2 and just how tonally different those 2 movies are. You don't think about it at the time unless you watch them back to back like that. Like Army of Darkness is devoid of anything dark and horrific, and it's like even when you get to like the fight at the end, you almost kind of forget they're fighting deadites. It just happened to be bad guys that are skeletons at that point.
Yeah. And if that movie came out now, we would be debating, is this a horror movie?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
It's a medieval adventure movie, dude.
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, that's my number 5
So
as
good.
well.
Well, we're all gonna agree on 4 through 1, so it'll go really fast.
Yeah, almost done.
Yeah. All right then. So then, Jason, what's your number 4?
Oh man, number 4. I fucking love this movie, and I know you guys do too. And I'm pretty sure it started where Tad was just like, "Hey, this movie, don't fuck around, watch it." I'm like, "All right, Jesus, Tad, you're so mean." But but you know, you listen to Tad and you do it. So I didn't get to see anything about it. I just pushed play because Tad told me to, and blew my fucking socks off. It's called No One Will Save You. It's basically another, you know, as I'm watching it, I'm like, Mike's going to fucking love this because it's like one character in one location, and it's just balls to the wall, fucking awesome. This girl is just out in the middle of nowhere by herself. She hears some noises. Maybe it's a home invasion. Oh, it is a home. Oh, but those aren't people. Those look like alien. Oh, fuck, those are aliens. Oh my God. And then like the whole movie. But then, you know, you're 20 minutes in the movie and you're like, nobody said a fucking word yet. And you're an hour into the movie. You're like, nobody said a word yet. This whole movie basically is with no dialogue, and it's unbelievable. It's captivating the whole time. You do not know how it's gonna go, and it's a ride and a half. And Caitlin Dever, who plays the lead, she steals the show, man. She's amazing. This movie's amazing. It's on Hulu. It's called No One Will Save You.
Yes. Obviously, well, if you're listening to this, you heard me mention it
Yep.
on honorable mentions. This one, the only thing I think that held it out of my top 10 was the look of the aliens. It was sort of
Stereotypical.
the sort of green, weird shaped head thing. Other than
Race.
that, it was really cool. The no dialogue, you know, it was unique.
Yeah.
I think I dig it too, and I this will be one I'll rewatch.
Oh yeah, and recommend all day.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it was so good. Gosh dang.
Yeah, it's great. I'm right there with you guys on this. Maybe more so. And
That's
we'll
my
find that
number.
out. Yeah, we'll find that out
I was
later.
gonna say you guys were probably like taken back when I mentioned this on my honorable mentions and not my top
I was
10.
trying not to be mad at you.
It
Yeah,
was
it
there.
kinda
It was
was.
in there.
No,
it was
it's
in there. Godzilla came and stomped on it, guys.
Yep, sure did. That's my number 4.
Tad, what's your number 4?
Mine is has number 4 has not one drop of fun in it. There's nothing to smile about. There's no sense of anything. It's When Evil Lurks. This movie's so fucking heavy. It's the heaviest on all lists of a list. Not one I'll rewatch probably unless I'm in the mood to watch a Doberman snatch a child by its
When that
fucking
fucking
skull.
happens.
Holy shit.
Jesus fuck. Yeah, and you knew it was going to happen. That's what made it worse.
It's
You're
like it's
"Is
coming,
it?
and they
Is it?"
don't fucking cut away from it, and he just takes
Then
the
they
kid out the fucking door.
Well, that's
Oh, my-
that's some Alfred Hitchcock shit right there, though, because you see
They tell ya,
the pile
animals-
of clothes are on the floor.
Oh.
You see the dog messing with the pile of clothes,
fuck.
and then you see those children while the adults are fighting
Oh.
and bickering. You see the children
doing their own thing.
petting the dog,
Oh, fuck.
hugging the dog, and the dog's just sitting there, and then just something's gonna happen, and that ticking bomb under the table is gonna
And it-
go off any second,
and it fucking
it
went
freaking
off.
and you just see. You see freaking shots of that dog flipping that small child around with his fangs like a freaking
not-
rag doll.
It's not PC.
It's brutal as hell, and I'm like, oh my god, I can't believe they went that far.
and then you keep going.
And it
Yeah.
keeps going.
Yeah, this director did Terrified, which was
Yep.
on my list. I think
that's right,
like
yeah.
3 or 4 years ago. and left me fucked up from just the image of the little dead boy at the table. So this director just loves fucking dead kids, and I love it. He might be Erica's new modern favorite director.
Yeah. I was
You know,
wondering
if
Erica's seen
Erica,
this.
yeah, I was gonna say if Erica hasn't finished her book, she might have to do a second one just to include this movie.
Yeah, she's probably going to be pissed when she sees this. Like, God damn it, I've already finished my book.
Yeah, but like I said, this one from start to end, there's not one moment of it doesn't let up. It doesn't give you any joy. People, I think trying to think of who it was when I was right. Maybe Godzilla. He said, I watched it. It was really good. I'll never watch that again. That's a pretty good review. But it still lands on here because it is, evil. It is fucking evil. It's mean. It's nasty.
Oh,
it's,
yeah.
And I have a hard time describing it to people because it's like, it's not zombies. It's like an illness. It's like a pandemic, but it's sort of 28 days later, but they don't have that rage, but they do have that rage. They have a rage, but it's not the same rage.
But it's demon possession.
Yeah.
Treated like zombies.
But is it? I was
fucked
confused
up.
on that. It's like, is it one demon doing this to everybody, or is
That's like
it's
passing
like a
on,
demon
yeah.
virus thing, like kind of like Night of the Demons? Because it's obviously more than a virus thing. Because there's some supernatural shit going on. Because how did that girl? For just an example, I mean, like a lot of these people when they turn, they survive massive trauma that they shouldn't. But how does that girl survive getting chewed up to shit by that dog, get drugged out into the street, and then the next time you see her when right before the pickup truck slams into her and her mother, she does not have a scratch on her. She has no marks whatsoever. And she says she's fine. It didn't hurt.
Right.
It's just the demon's mind control.
Sort
yeah,
of like
yeah,
a,
I mean-
no, that's
like
what I'm saying.
like a deadite. Yeah. I mean,
I'm
when
not-
they're fucking
But
with
it's,
ashes.
I'm not
like
picking
in the
a
on
moment,
down.
you're just like, what the fuck is
Yeah.
happening?
Yeah. I'm not picking on it. I'm
Yeah.
just saying that's what you
That's what it
are
is.
going to
yeah.
expect because it's a
Yeah.
supernatural thing going on.
And the scene that's from the poster where the woman bashes her own fucking face in with a hatchet is gnarly. This is like the sadness of last year. The sadness last
Yeah.
year was
Oh,
one that
yeah.
was like blood, guts, gory, and not like Renfeld splashing blood onto the screen. It is like literally a hatchet to the fucking face. I don't know what else to say about this one, guys. Like it got tons of buzz when it hit streaming. Everyone was sort of talking about it. It lived up and exceeded that hype for me. It's disturbing. I mean, I can't, as someone who doesn't have kids, I was trying to warn people when they're asking if I want, if a good friend of mine, Scott, he was like, what have you seen lately? I'm like, you should watch this, but be forewarned.
But
But
don't.
he's the same guy who was not really, he thought Serbian film was rad and was like, it didn't really, I'm like, so he should be fine with this. And he said he was fine. He loved it. He thought it was awesome. He liked Terrified, so I knew he'd like this. So, but
Yeah,
yeah,
the
some
kids-
people it might be too much for them.
The kid stuff didn't traumatize me. I think the difference for me is when, like, this is still over the top, right? I mean, it'd be different. Take a movie like Chained, for example, which is a
Ugh.
movie I'll never watch again
Nope.
because it's such a
Too heavy.
too heavy for me on the kids front, because that could happen. That does happen, sadly. Where this is like,
Like when you're carrying a bloated guy by a bed sheet and he rips through, and it's like this isn't anything that
yeah,
possible.
It's
too
it's
over the top.
Too over the top. Yeah. I really liked it too. It didn't make my top 10 because I feel like it's too dark in the fact that, well, I mean, I always need levity. I do.
Yep.
But when they get to that one lady's house and then things slow down and we're spending time with the characters, the mom, the brother, the autistic kid, the dad, and whoever this creepy lady is, I didn't care. Because I just did not really care about any of these characters and their plight. In particular, the main protagonist. It's like when he loses his one kid in the middle of the night, it's like, I have no investment in this for some reason, and I think it's just because
Poor
this.
Pedro.
I think it's maybe a lot of because like I didn't connect with with a lot of his motivation through the first half.
No, he's a very flawed character that
Yeah.
doesn't do the right thing enough.
Yeah,
And
yeah, and so there was nothing for me to connect with any of these characters for me to really care about them. Now, when the creepy stuff is going on, it's creepy and it's awesome, and when the gory stuff is happening, it's disgusting and keeps me entertained. But the lulls in it is when it's just character stuff, because I did not care about the characters enough.
Yeah,
Enough for me to get through the rest of the movie, mind you, and care about the impactful stuff. But when it's just the characters talking at that secluded house, I was starting to tune out.
Yeah, it wasn't quite. I mean, we just talked about Evil Dead Rise and how they take the time to make you care about the family before they fuck you over, and not so much with this. I mean, they do have some character development, but like, I was not. I was more. It was more of a shock value of watching a kid get snatched by a dog, more so than
Yeah,
like.
yeah, exactly.
I really wanted her to survive because I cared about her character. No, I just knew there was a fucking kid that was gonna get eaten by a dog, and it's tense.
Yeah, that's a
It's
perfect
just a
way of
different
putting
type,
it.
different type of horror, and that's fine.
Yeah, yeah, it's fine. Yeah, but just saying that's why I didn't make my top 10. So, but my number 4 goes in the completely opposite direction of both you guys. Mine's Cocaine Bear.
oh my goodness, really?
I loved Cocaine Bear. I've watched it twice already
Oh,
this year
Jesus.
because I showed Simon it too, and he loved it too. It's so funny.
It's a horror movie?
It is.
I haven't seen
It's
it.
Grizzly, but on cocaine. Grizzly's
I mean-
a horror movie.
We got Slaughterhouse and Cocaine Bear on your list. I love it.
So,
yeah,
animal themed.
you know where my brain is at. Yeah, you haven't seen it yet.
No,
Um,
probably won't.
but it's
Oh, it's
directed.
I think you'd like it,
I think
Jason.
you'd like it. It's directed by help me, God. We all love her. She's hot. She's funny.
She's from Hunger Games. and
Elizabeth
Banks.
Banks. Thank you. She directed it.
That's
She's not
cool.
in it, which I thought was really interesting. Usually anytime you see like actors or actresses
At least have a cameo.
move it,
Carrie
yeah, move in.
Russell's in this.
Yeah, there's a good cast. Great director. It's
Baby Cube's in it.
it's funny. It's got some good gore. It's the final film of Ray Liotta. You should watch it at least in honor of Ray Liotta, right? Or not? Simon,
Did you call him Lay Riota?
something like that? Isn't it? Laid to rest, Liotta. Check it out, dude. It's
Yeah, I think
fun.
you'd like it, Jason. It's fun.
I
It's-
do love
it's-
cocaine, so
it's-
let's
it's-
do it.
It's pretty dumb fun. It's ridiculous, it's over the top, like laugh out loud fun.
I don't think we convinced him.
Oh, man.
I didn't love it as much as I wanted to because people were like, "Dude, it is so crazy," and I'm like,
Okay. You're
Yeah.
telling me this? You don't know
You're
what I
right.
watched.
Yeah.
Right. But it's definitely it's easily digestible. It's fun. Throw it back some night.
Cocaine Bear is your number 4. What the fuck?
Can't trust my shit
Nope.
for nothing. Can
You're... oh,
All right then, fine. Let's move on to number 3. Tad, what is your number 3?
My number 3 is one I sang the praises for after I saw it, and what we watched. It is David Slay's Dark Harvest. This movie is gorgeous. It's such a cool story. It's set in the time period I love in the 60s. The reason it's not higher up is because the story was a little bit confusing, but maybe that's a good thing. They don't explain everything. It left me a little confused at times, but I dug the whole experience. I love the cast. I love the cinematography. I love the story. I love the monster, the creature, the gore. This was really cool. And I also think what plays into it being such a high thing is like, it was completely unexpected. I did not hear about this until someone, a Facebook friend, posted like, "Hey, check this out. The cinematographer from Only God Forgives like made a horror movie, David Slade," and I'm like, "That looks sort of cool. Straight to streaming. I'll check it out." And I was pretty blown away. I really had a great time with it, fully engaged, and it's a great Halloween time watch.
Yeah. Sawtooth
cool.
Jack is the shit.
Yeah, cool villain, cool character.
Oh, you saw it?
Yeah.
Yeah, this
This is-
one.
It was completely off my radar. I don't know anything about it.
Yeah. So the story is yeah, I can do some story without spoiling it for you. I think I got Godzilla, I think, to rent it, and maybe Rod, I'm not sure, but it's set in the 60s where in a small town in the Midwest where like every high schooler wants out, you know, they want to get out of their parents' house, they want to get out of this town that's deadbeat. There's no good job, there's no good future in this town. So the school actually like basically offers up, if you can kill Sawtooth Jack, yeah, you can hunt him down, you get a car, you get money to leave town, and you get like a trophy and a parade and recognized, you know, at the city gathering, whatever. But Sawtooth Jack is this like mixture of Pumpkinhead and Jack Skellington, and I don't even know what. He's this big fucking scarecrow creature. This is where it got a bit confusing because I'm like, it's obviously supernatural, and they sort of hint that it's like it's ruining it'll ruin their crops for a year, so they need this thing killed. So you go out hunting it. So I was like, okay, this seems sort of fun, but this thing fucking hunts you, and it's like Predator, where you know it'll take out like 6 dudes at once. It's really hard to kill this thing. So all these kids, you know, jump in their old pickup trucks, and they've got their, you know, rudimentary guns and weapons and whatever they can grab, baseball bats and shit, and they just all run into the cornfield after this Sawtooth Jack guy, and he fucks up all these teenagers, and but it's
Yes, he
also
does.
a coming of age story too, which is I really like, because these kids are willing to risk their lives to get out of this town. And this one, the lead, his older brother was one who took out Sawtooth Jack, and he's left town and no one's heard from him since. And so he's struggling to live in the shadow of his brother. You know, what are the odds that the younger brother, who's not athletic and good looking, is going to get it? He's lived in his brother's shadow this whole life because his brother took out Sawtooth Jack. And so his like main goal in life is like, I'm going to fucking get him. You know, like I have to live up to my brother's legend, and you feel for him.
It's pretty
But-
cool.
Yeah, sounds pretty
Yeah.
cool.
David
Definitely
Slade,
wanna check out that monster.
who did 30 Days a Night, which I love. Yeah,
Hard
I-
Candy.
yeah,
Oh,
I would have
Nightmare
loved to
7.
seen. Yeah, I would have loved to seen this one in a theater.
Mm-hmm.
cool. Where's it at?
It might be just. Last I knew, it was just like pay to rent, but it
Oh,
might.
okay.
I'll have to check and see if it's.
Yeah, I don't think it's free streaming yet.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right, Jason, what's your number 3?
Oh my lord, my number 3. I watched it last night.
Oh, wow.
This is why I wait till the last minute to make my list. And I'm you know, a lot of the movies on my list, I realized though as I led up to today, is that I really love the ones that, well, they're all there because of the story and the story being good from beginning to end. And what I like about this one and a lot of them that are on my list is in that story, they create a new mythos. They maybe take something, but they create their own lore and their own universe, their own
Yeah.
theory thing, you know, that's like, oh, this is cool. Like, it's fucking awesome. And trying to figure out, you know, the rules, the 7 rules in this movie that we just talked about, called When Evil Lurks.
Oh, okay.
It's my number 3. It was fucking awesome because you're like, what do you mean this infected dude or whatever they were calling him, and what does this mean? You know, is it a virus? Is it a what? Is it
Yeah.
a this? You know, And I loved following these these brothers. You're trying to figure out what the hell's going on. You know, their journeys, madness too. It's just what they go through, and they tell you not to do this and don't do this, but they fucking have to do it. They have to shoot somebody with a gun, and shit goes crazy. Especially when that neighbor finally fires on that goat, and he knows he's not supposed to. He knows they know the rules.
That was a super awesome scene.
Yeah, I mean, clearly reverse photography, but when that goat
Steps up to the
Steps
barrel
up
of the
to the
gun,
gun.
and you're like, oh.
don't you fucking do you
Like
know it's the rules.
And
Yeah,
then
like
what the wife turns around and
The
does.
second he pulls the trigger, he gets a fucking axe buried in his face for not following these rules.
Yep. You're right, though.
Oh.
I'm with you. I like that is something I really liked about this movie is that it creates its own lore.
It takes a little bit from all the cool things.
I mean, it might be. I mean, is this a Spanish film? Okay. There might be some lore
For sure.
from that area that we don't know about, but regardless, they do a great job of building that world and sticking to those rules and showing us all these rules and the lore and everything without it being force fed to us.
Yeah, and that particular moment is really the first time you see the rules be broken the first time that they tell you not to do for the first 20 minutes, and you're just like, but what are we even talking about here? You got this guy that's all bloated and bubbly and melting, and but what's really going on here? What and then fucking propels this movie to just like, holy fuck, and it doesn't stop. And so when those get it, it's crazy, and then they try to get away, and then the dog and the kid is just, it's the scene that like you can't deny.
There's just a lot of like
Oh man.
jaw dropping, or just I talked earlier about how there's some lull moments for me, but there's a lot of great moments that suck me into the movie hard. Like right out of the gate, dealing with the guy in the bed, the big puffy guy. It's so disgusting. They do not shy away from
shit dripping out of his nose.
Yeah,
Oh my god,
mucus and pus and
you don't know,
and
but you don't know the
bile.
context. You're just like,
Yeah.
what? And you're like, why do you think that you have to drive him away from your small town that apparently doesn't have electricity?
and you can't touch him, and
Right? Why? Explain these fucking rules, and they don't even get to the 7 rules till halfway through the goddamn movie.
Yeah.
You just try to help kind of figure them out and from context, and the family, that's hard. And when they get to the friend's house, I like her because they talk about this cleaner, and you still don't even know what the fuck that means, but being able to take the demon out of this pregnant body, basically this incubation for this demon is what's happening, Oh man. And then there's his son that I would have bet the world that was a handicapped actor. But when he isn't for a minute, you're just like, God damn it, this movie. God damn it, this demon.
Yeah.
Why do you
Yeah.
have to get everybody? Why can't? And you're just like, and then the end. I won't say that, but like in the stage there, that's fucking gross. And even the main character who spent the whole movie telling people not to break these rules still can't. These demons are just too. And so I don't want to give it away, but I won't give it away. But like, I'm surprised I like this movie because there really is no happy ending.
I'm kind of shocked too.
There's
honestly.
no, like, even this main character can't do the right thing, and lots of bad things happen, including his poor mother, which you learn what happened to her at the end with the boy that did the thing to the. Oh my God, this movie, Ted. It's so good. for
say
being
it-
so bad.
Made it up your list, so that's
Number
something.
3, man.
Number 3, all the way up to 3. Wow.
When Evil Lurks.
Wow. Okay, my number 3.
Oh,
We've talked about it before.
okay.
Wrath of Becky.
Yeah.
Ah,
You love
I don't know what
Becky's.
else to say about it, I guess, but it's
It's
Yeah,
it's
this
fun
is
when I
fun.
forget, like, earlier that you're like, it might be on my list later. And then I'm like, my dumb brain, like 5 movies later, I'm like, I wonder what it is. Woohoo!
Yep. Well, I was so excited to see our buddy Courtney Gaines.
Courtney Gaines about steals this thing.
Kinda
Gosh
does.
dang it.
And
Yeah.
props to Jason for like insisting we watch this one, because I probably would have been like a sequel to Becky.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you for bringing it up because I forgot it existed, or else I would have
Well,
watched it on
it
my
was-
own.
People
nobody-
don't know exists.
Nobody
Yeah,
knows.
exactly. I mean, I thought I heard something about it once, and then thought it was just a fever dream that there was a sequel to Becky.
Right. And then it was just online. That's all I know. Yeah, even the main dude, Sean Scott Williamson's Scott.
John William Scott,
Sean.
yes, Stifler,
Yeah, he was fucking great.
and his mom, yeah,
Oh, and I
Oh, the
love
mom.
that actress a lot.
Yeah,
she was
intimidating as
great.
shit,
Jill
yeah.
Larson, she's amazing.
fucking cool. Like just all over, like watching these dipshits. I mean, now that we're this far in, and can we talk about spoilers? If you haven't seen it,
It's only
pause.
brand new, and you,
hit pause. But when he fucking falls into the bear traps at the end,
God damn, that's how you do it.
oh, I was like out of my seat, like celebrating,
Fuck
my team scored a touchdown in the Super Bowl. It's so good because he when he gets the final one to the face, it's just like yes. Or when she shoots the mom is like, she
Oh,
it's
she
so
about
funny.
outsmarts him, yeah.
It's so funny when the mom, we even get tricked where it's like she's still alive, and then she shoots and she's like 40 feet off. She shoots to the other side of the room.
Yeah,
she has a traumatic brain injury.
Because again, spoilers, but she gets shot directly in the
Square.
head, so square in the forehead. So you think, okay, she's done. And then she comes back, and I'm like,
So
what? At first, I'm like,
Right.
what? Come on. And then she even has the lines like, you must have missed the brain, and then shoots at Becky, but then we get the full perspective of the room, and she's like facing the other way because her brain's all fucked up now.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, so good. And then the dog gets his moment too.
Damn
after-
Yep.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, just talking about it again, I'm like, this is gonna be one I'll just rewatch it this week with Nikki, because I think she will enjoy it so much that it's like it's so rewatchable.
It's rated R Home Alone too.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's so good. She really outsmarts them fucks.
Yep.
So great.
Yeah.
Oh, the arrow through the
traps and-
cheeks from
Oh,
the crossbow.
Courtney.
Yeah.
Unfazed though. Yeah, he's just like
But
Yeah,
that
it bleeds.
it-
It bleeds like for a minute, and then he's fine. And I'm like, come on, that'd be
But
bleeding
no,
for the rest of the movie.
that's what is so genius about it, is that I think you guys unlocked what, like, just talking about it, like, unlocked why I love it so much, because the Home Alone movies are like my favorite thing.
Yeah.
And like they take bricks to the face and nails
Yeah.
to the foot, and they're fine. They keep moving on.
Yeah,
That's what, like,
more of a
this-
cartoon.
that's what this is. This is like Itchy and Scratchy and Home Alone, and it's like
uh-huh.
We're Home Alone's Tom and Jerry. Becky, Wrath of Becky is Itchy Scratchy.
Yeah.
And Scratchy.
yeah.
Exactly.
I just love it. It's fucking rad.
Bloody, it's gross, it's awesome.
Do you guys want to see another one, knowing where
Well,
she's
we have
at
to.
by the end? Well,
have
they set
to.
it up, right? But like, it'd be
In my
Now that
brain
she's
I'm
got-
like, how could it even be good? How is this even
Well, how did this one?
I know,
begin, you know?
but then I thought that, and I'm like, well, now I really want to see what they do.
Yeah,
well-
because they literally went from her like spilling coffee on a guy, and it escalated to that. But in the state that we are as a country, that we get so riled
Might
up,
be
like
good.
that's believable. So it's like, what can they be inspired by? Here's a good question for you guys: what like 90s/2000s comedian that is not as popular as they once were
Can they
will
bring
play?
back for part 3?
Yeah, that will be the serious role for part 3. because I just love that they took Stifler and Paul Blart, and
Yep.
I'm like, do we have? I was gonna say Tim Allen, but he's sort of a shithead in real life. Yeah, I don't know.
Pauly Shore.
I could see that. He's desperate.
Could he actually act enough to pull it off?
No. I caught a TikTok clip of one of his current stand-up. He's still doing the weasel, guys.
Oh,
man.
I've met him. He's a piece of shit.
But he's doing the weasel as if, like, because the shtick was, like, not getting recognized by some girl half his age or whatever, and he's like, but I'm the weasel, and
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
he is. I mean, not to open another tab, but he is the worst because he gets on Instagram and begs other celebrities to help him pitch movies to like Disney Plus, and it's like all of his celebrities that he worked with in the '90s that are like way above him now, and he's like, guys, fans, let this Sean Astin know that we and Brendan Fraser know that we want Encino Man 2, and it's like or Ki Kwan, and it's like awkward because it's like he's begging people to beg people who don't need fucking Encino Man 2 to help him get a paycheck, and it's like, and he's been bothering Richard Simmons to do the biopic. And
oh, that's
like,
right. That was what I was trying to think of. a
Stop
minute
fucking
ago.
harassing him. Like, let him be,
Oh.
you fucking loser. Anyways,
Oh yeah, yeah. Sorry
not
to go down that.
Pauly Shore.
All right, so we can stop talking about Pauly Shore. We should move on to our number twos. Tad, what is your number two?
My number two, and it's one you guys haven't seen. It's Eli Roth Thanksgiving.
Oh,
man.
Yeah.
I have a-
17 years later, after a fake trailer and one of my favorite movie-going experiences, it finally came to fruition. As I've alluded to, if you listen to the show, you know that holiday horror is my jam. My favorite movie is Halloween. I love Christmas horror. We have a Thanksgiving one that doesn't suck finally. And honestly, like 17 years later, after this really fun trailer, I'm like, there is no way Eli Roth can pull this off where it doesn't just disappoint, because we've waited so long. The hype has built so long. The trailer was so much fun. I mean, he went balls to the wall with the trailer, right? He showed all the best parts.
Yeah.
Every best part. There's no way he could do this. What's he going to do? He made it modern. I was like, oh, that's another check off the list that I don't like it. It's going to suck. Like, how and Eli hasn't given me much faith from his recent work.
Well, and a lot of horror fans feel that way, and even his earlier work, it just feels like in the horror community, Eli Roth has been canceled.
And I love Cabin Fever. I love the
Me too.
Hostel movies.
Me too.
Both of them. I think Hostel 2 is even better. Like I'm not. I think Green Inferno is really the only thing that I just don't really love. But
When you said love, I mean it's still. I mean, I like it. It's
I mean, it's still fun to watch, but
Yeah.
man, he really, I've said it before. This is like, he restrained himself in the best ways possible. He did not have that like stupid 13-year-old Eli Roth that was like, I don't know how to explain it. Like in Green Inferno, I like it, but there's like the whole diarrhea joke and there's farts and like
Yeah.
that kind of shit takes me out of it because it's just childish and bad writing. Where this, he like does not resort to those things. This is just a really good slasher. It's set in modern times. It's like, how in the hell did you take that paper thin plot of the Thanksgiving trailer and make a goddamn franchise? They've already announced part 2 is coming.
Yep.
It's already greenlit. This movie's breaking records. It fucking rules. I was blown away. Eli, you're in the good graces of horror fans again. I have not seen people besides Godzilla. Everybody else seems to really love it, and I'm just so stoked that we have another movie to watch every year. So we can have Halloween, we can have Thanksgiving, we can have Krampus, and Black Christmas, and it's just, we finally have that bridge between Halloween and Christmas, and it is just really good. The performances are really good. It's a morality tale on consumerism. It was really smart on how they made a story out of this. And Eli and his friend who co-wrote it with him said that they conceptualized this as like 12-year-olds because they were like, when's there going to be a Thanksgiving slasher? We have Halloween and, Happy Birthday to Me, and we have all the Friday the 13th. Every holiday has a movie. Why doesn't Thanksgiving have one? And here they are as adults, and they made it, and it's fucking great.
Yeah, it warms my heart that it's been so successful, and Eli Roth is kind of back, because I felt like I was like the last Eli Roth fan. I still love most of his movies. My only one that I don't care for is Knock Knock, and that's just because those two girls are just so freaking annoying, and it's an hour and a half of them. So like, and it just has bothered me over the years on how just like seems like more and more people have turned even on his earlier work, and I was just like, do you guys remember back in the day when those movies came out? We all loved them. Did we not? Did we forget that?
Yeah.
Like, I hear so much negativity about like the Hostel films, even Cabin Fever, and just Eli Roth in general. So I want to see this movie so bad, and I'm so excited that it has been so successful for him, which just means I don't know how I'm not gonna love it if I'm still the last guy on earth who is passionate for Eli Roth movies.
I'm glad that it got the sequel greenlit, and I hope he writes it and starts shooting it before Borderlands comes out and ruins his career.
Yeah, there's that.
That's like that thing on his fucking what do they say at the something on the person's back? The
Monkey?
the monkey on his back is like, this saying is looming in the shadows, and it's not going to be. It couldn't possibly come out and be good after all this time, right? I mean, there's something going on.
No,
where-
I don't know.
with
The
all the
Flash movie did.
With all the production problems too,
Yeah, I mean, it's been shot for it was shot like 2 years ago, and they had Tim Miller come in and do all the reshoots while he shot Thanksgiving. Eli Roth wrote and directed and put out and released a movie and got a sequel greenlit before the movie he shot 2 years ago, and it has come out, and that comes out summer of next year. It's like another year.
Well, if they're
for it to come
investing
out.
that much in not releasing it, then they'll make it good
I don't
before
know.
they. Whether
Or-
it has anything left to him or not, but
or it'll be a write-off for him that won't
They're not letting. that
hopefully
happen
won't
anymore.
tarnish Eli Roth at that point.
Yeah, I'm like, there's no possible way he could be like, they came out and said, Tim Miller's doing reshoots, and everybody's like, oh no. And he's like,
Right.
don't worry, it's because I'm doing Thanksgiving. And it's like,
But-
Thanksgiving was shot, and then it's like, it could have been, I don't know. To me, it signals a huge red flag. And, I don't know. I hope I'm wrong. I hope he comes out and proves me wrong and it's fantastic. But after all this time, I'm just sort of like, it's a bad sign.
I just don't know if it does not turn out to be good. I don't know if it's going to be on Eli Roth's shoulders. I don't think it's going to be his fault, because it just sounds like it's just been a production nightmare from the beginning, and more on the studio's fault than anything else.
I hope so. And if it does, like I said, I'm glad he got this like filmed out and a sequel greenlit. And I hope, if it does flop, it's like, well, he's put out 2 successful horror movies, sort of going back to his basics. Like, let him.
Yeah.
It's okay to be doing that. Like Carpenter, he releases, Opus, Epic, and The Thing that flopped, and he went back and did fucking Big Trouble in Little China and They Live and all these movies that, almost forced him back into his world. And that, wasn't all bad.
Yeah, yeah.
So anyways, Thanksgiving, number 2.
wow,
Love it.
I'm so glad that's awesome that it made it that far up your list.
Yeah.
Being,
God, it makes me just want to see it even more.
yeah.
All right, Jason, you're number 2.
Oh my gosh. Number 2. Well, we've already talked about it. And there's a little bit of recency bias, and honestly, it would be my number 1, because I do think it's the best movie of the year. It's best movie of the year, but horror movie of the year. Maybe there's one more that's just a little more scary, But this movie blew my fucking socks off. It's not very often, if ever, when Brian Clark is like, dude, go to the theater now. And I'm like, but Brian, he's like, listen, don't fuck around. Go check this out. And I'm like, well, if Brian Clark is telling me.
I already wrote it down because I know what it is based on that.
Yeah,
story.
We're talking about Godzilla -1. Jesus. So
As soon as you said Brian Clark.
And so so as soon as when I got out of the theater, he was just getting out of seeing it the second time,
Oh, nice.
and so he saw that I had seen it and wrote me, and I'm going to read what I wrote to him. He's excited that I saw the movie, and he was curious about my thoughts, and I said, fucking loved it. The scope of his size and power, you felt his weight. Like that's unbelievable. It's like it's in one of them 3D or one of those. What kind of theaters are those, Tad? Where you fucking shakes the seats?
Yeah.
But like the sound design is out of fucking control. This is a bazillion-ton beast walking around, and you're like, you fucking feel it. Okay. He says the destruction was next level and so realistic. Oh man, it's true. He was one angry lizard and was scary as hell. He's so mean in this. He's like just angry and mean and vengeful and
what I really loved is
scary.
Like, with the new Legendary movies, it's definitely like, the Marvel stuff where it's like, I don't know, it doesn't feel real. And with this, it's like he's almost not even like trying. He's not out to destroy a building. He's just so massive and walking that if it's in his fucking path, it's gone. And he picks up like a train car with his teeth and throws it through the city, wiping out everybody. And it's like, yeah, it's not your Legendary one where everybody's safe.
Right.
Everybody's fucked if you're in his path, you are fucked. And when he drops something, everything goes kaboom. When he starts putting up his fucking ray, his like death ray, it's like you're fucking toast, and it's an atomic bomb.
That was the next thing I said is his light up protruding plates, and that blast is so fucking powerful. Like I was literally like, there's no chance of this movie ending well. Like there's no way he can be defeated. He is too strong, too powerful. The humans stand no chance. This is his planet. It's just how long till we're all dead. He is that.
Just try to get out of his path. That's your only
right. The only way this movie ends is he just gets tired of playing and goes home. That's the only way this movie ends, in my head. But it was really cool getting to see the post-war Japan stuff, and how fucking sad and awful that was, and but getting to see the humanity amidst all that rubble was amazing too, because it all comes down to this. Right. So in spite of some of the most amazing action sequences put to film, the best part was the story of this guy, a girl, and a kid. Like it's fucking heart-wrenching. It's beautiful. There wasn't a dry eye in the theater. My theater was full, and it was like a Saturday afternoon matinee, and it's just, I mean, the proof's in the Rotten Tomatoes. I mean, the pudding. And I hate Rotten Tomatoes. I mean, there's a reason that it's being loved by everyone, is because everyone is being reminded that, having a good story in an action film, it's just like people are like, whoa, I don't know what to do. Like, I've never felt these feelings in a while. Just what's happening? This isn't on my phone. I don't know. So like, it's deserving of every bit of praise that's going. It's just unbelievable. The story's great. It's touching, and like I said earlier, it's like and Brian said this too. You're just like this. You're almost mad he shows up because he's going to fucking ruin this cool story you're invested in. Another thing, the fucking score is out of control, amazing. It's so good.
Yeah, it evokes the original, but it's
Yeah.
modern. Yeah, it's fucking cool how they do it.
Oh yeah, I mean the first half before he shows up, I mean we got some great score going on, and but then yeah, when he shows up and they bring in those
The horns.
Themes.
Dun, dun, dun. Yeah.
it's like
The Godzilla theme, it's like, yeah,
But
it chills down your spine.
it's mixed so fucking loud, and you're just and like he's destroying everything, and it's so realistic. It's not a guy in a suit with some models. He's fucking killing this whole country. It's just like motherfuck. It's so good. Oh, that score is so. I can't wait to go get it. I loved the Shin Godzilla score a lot too, but and the Godzilla Kong one too, but or even in the last one, the King of the Monsters was probably my favorite up until this one. But this has oh, it's so good. It's so good. You like it, and if there was ever a movie to see in a theater, like I said, it's this one because it's as big as it gets. It's the reason we have theaters. And to get to fucking read subtitles in a theater, it's all I've ever wanted. I want subtitles on every movie I watch. So it was amazing.
Yeah. I'm bummed. You guys' number 2 are 2 movies that I'm dying to see that probably would be just as high on my
Yep,
list.
probably would.
But my number 2
Yep.
is Totally Killer.
Oh,
Wow.
shit.
Wow. High up the list.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Sitting here reflecting, it might be too high. Maybe I did need to do another pass.
Well, there's comedy.
But I still, it's my wheelhouse, man. I love comedy.
Oh, it's good.
Mixed with my horror, and it's really good. I just really enjoyed. You talked about the '80s stuff, feeling worried about it feeling forced. Because it wasn't so much like the '80s stuff in your face of, hey, here's my Swatch, or here's
Right.
here's my Spuds MacKenzie T-shirt. It's more of like just the overall
Aesthetic.
difference in the
Yeah.
teens
Yeah.
of that era versus now. Like some of my favorite stuff is her just being so weirded out by
Because somebody touched her.
people smoking in public or dodgeball.
Right.
To think about that. We all know the trauma of dodgeball.
Yeah.
Well, guess what? Our kids today don't get traumatized by dodgeball because
Bullshit.
they know that it's a bullshit game, and they don't, and they're not forcing kids to play that crap anymore. So that's the kind of the stuff as far as the mixture of the two eras that I was enjoying. Not so much the nostalgia of seeing the ET video game on the shelf. It's more of like just the overall differences in teens today versus teens back then, or just overall society, really. Again, going back to things like it's okay to like smoke in school or whatever.
Yeah.
And then on all the horror stuff was fun, and I dig time travel-y stuff. When it's done well, and I feel like it's done well for the most part. There's a little bit in the kind of the wrap up stuff at the very end that I'm like, wait a minute, time travel, you kind of fucked up that a little bit, but it's forgiven. So that's my number 2.
It was neat when they're like, "Oh, Back to the Future got this wrong." I'm like, "All right, I think I agree with you, actually."
Yeah.
Wow. Gosh dang, we're here.
Oh man, it's
And
number 1.
I personally, and none of us have talked about our lists at all until this moment. And I also know that there's a movie none of us have talked about yet. Oh man,
I
feel like I know what Tad's is, but
You're
Mike's,
right. I absolutely know what yours is, Jason.
Yeah,
but
so,
I
like-
don't- Mike's the wild card.
I know
I
how.
am the wild card.
Like
you
how?
always are.
Yeah.
Yeah, how did Zombie Town get all the way to Mike's number 1?
Forget that. We talked about before we were recording. Peeling back the curtains, folks. We were talking about before we were recording on like what we do for the bonus episodes for these year enders, and I made the comment. I'm like, I'm glad we don't do the bottom, the worst of the year anymore.
Yep.
Don't make me bring that back. If bringing up Zombie Town,
I'm just looking at
that's
this
the worst of the
list
year.
of 100 movies and all the films we haven't talked about yet, and I don't think if yours isn't ours, I don't know what yours is. I have one clue actually, but I don't want to say
Okay.
it. But
All right.
I'll mark it down and see if I'm right.
All right. Well, before I announce mine, I'm going to make you guys guess. So anyway, let's get into it. Jason, what's your number one?
Well, my number one is the same as Tad's number one.
Yep.
And this movie's fucking incredible. Like I mentioned earlier with When Evil Lurks, the thing I really is clearly important to me on my list is the story and the lore and the mythos that you create with your story. And this movie creates this lore that's just out of nowhere, and it's just out of nowhere, and it's unbelievable, and they don't really explain it really. You don't care where it comes from. You're just all of a sudden in this movie. And the thing I really like about it, besides it being A24, but is, I should just say it, right?
Yep.
Damn it. It's Talk to Me. If you've seen it or not, you watch this trailer, the mythos they create with this hand, when it happens, like, I don't know how they do it, if it's with the music. It's part with the music, it's part with the camera, it's part with the acting, it's part with the makeup, a lot with the makeup. But there is you feel evil grab this kid and hold him in this chair. There's like a gravity that these kids are put under when this moment happens, and it's so fucking scary to me. And every time it happens, it's fucking real and scary. Their eyes all black out, and just how these kids turn when they are grabbed is the most amazing and scary, terrifying thing I've seen in fucking years.
You know what adds to that intensity for me is how carefree and not serious the rest of them are. It's a joke to them. It's all a game and a joke
All happening
to them.
at the same time.
Just laughing and having a fun ass time with this. There's even that weird little montage scene where they just keep doing it over and over again, and the tone changes with the music. Even it's got like more happy poppy
party
song or
music,
something.
yeah.
Party music, and the whole time I'm like, this is serious, guys.
Yeah, and
This is all gonna go so badly for you. Stop fucking around.
And
But it's believable because when you're that age, you don't think
Sure, you're
you're
invincible.
untouchable. Yeah, and this is fucking funny to fuck around with this thing.
the brilliant part in that moment that I'm talking about, besides the music, the acting, and all that stuff, is there's a countdown element. So you are literally holding your breath. Like, that's the smartest thing about writing this lore.
Is they added that time.
They added this time in there.
And
Because
you
for a
know-
while, you don't know what happens after if you go too far. But
Yeah.
you see it starting to go bad. You know, you're just like, and when
We're waiting for it. We're
you're
fucking.
like,
Yeah,
this
you're
seems
waiting
like
for
this isn't fun and games as it may start to be. This is, it's so scary.
Yeah, you're waiting for it because again, these kids aren't taking it seriously. They know the
fucking
rules, but
kids.
you know they're dumbass kids that are just gonna push the envelope.
Yep.
Like,
Yep.
how far can we go this time? It's like, no, you know the rules. You can't go past whatever it was. Was it 60 seconds? 80? I don't remember.
Yeah, 90
Yeah,
seconds.
I mean, it's like
90 seconds.
me and my friends did some really stupid shit looking back where I'm like, I would never fucking do that now. But like, you ride the line of something, and once you get away with it so many times, you push the boundary. You keep pushing until it hits you in the fucking face and you learn. But this is the ultimate consequence.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the actual description says, when a group of friends discover how to conjure spirits with an embalmed hand, they become hooked on this new thrill and high stakes party game until one of them goes too far and unleashes terrifying supernatural forces. Because when it first happens, you're seeing it from the audience, you're like, oh, what's so funny? But then when you see it really work, it's like it's so fucking scary because it feels real. Not that this really could happen, but you're just in it, and you're like, when it happens and you're stuck to this hand, it's like, holy fuck! It's just that 90 seconds ish, a moment
Yeah.
is just so goddamn scary.
And the story wise, it sort of it's sort of funny because it made me think of a very different movie, The Gate, because
Oh, interesting.
the older sister who's responsible for the little brother,
Yep.
you know, partying with the friends. Oh, little brother has to come along, and he takes it too far, just like they do with the Ouija board and get him floating. You know, like,
Yeah.
They do a good job of not letting him for a while,
right? Yeah, and
You
you
think
know
maybe
that
he doesn't.
but which ramps it up because it's like it's sort of like in Hereditary with
Yeah.
the girl who sticks her head out the fucking window, where it's like she was an innocent person who wanted to come to this party and she has the thing, but it's like he just wants to fit in.
Yep.
He just wants to join this party. He wants and
He
they
sees
take it too
everyone
far.
having fun.
And now he's the one that has to fucking face it. And we have this whole underlying story of our lead character who's dealing with the death of her mom and wanting to use it to see her mom. And
Oh, what?
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't necessarily get there until it happened. And then when it happened, I'm like, that's fucking brilliant that they tied that in. I mean, I knew it could have, I guess, and I knew it was kind of there, but I didn't think it was like she was kept going back to try to find her mom. But when it ended up happening, it was like, oh my God, that's so good. And I'll like Hereditary in a few of those moments, I will forever be haunted by the 10 frames, the 1 second of that poor innocent kid as we see him trapped in hell. That scene of him is just, oh man, it is tough to see. It's haunted.
And I think it does what it really does well too is like after I watched it, I was like, God damn, it was violent and visceral and it was like painful to watch and stuff. And then like I had a few friends who saw it and they're like, like it's not a whole lot, but like your brain almost tricks you into thinking you saw more than you did because it's so so quick and violent and just
Yep.
but either way, it's like burned into my brain, And but this, unlike When Evil Lurks, I will watch again. I don't know when. I have to ramp myself up for it.
Yeah, this one scares me bad.
But I now own it on 4K. I loved it.
Nice.
So I'm like, this is gonna be one. If I find out people haven't seen it, I'm gonna be like, oh, sit down, we should
Guess
watch
what?
it. Yeah. Yeah, this movie.
The actors are
fucking
great.
rules.
All those kids are awesome. More proof in the pudding. It's got a $4.5 million budget, and it's already made $91 million. So
And
it's,
we got the
Nice.
sequel on the way.
so it made up for Bo's movie. So that's good.
And you know what the sequel's called?
No, talk
To Me.
Don't say that.
It is
Oh God damn it! Why is there a sequel?
because it made a shit ton of money.
This time it's a foot.
I'm at the moment where I don't want there to ever be sequels to a thing I like.
There's
We always have the original.
the creators, the two directors,
Danny and Michael Philippou.
They did Joe Rogan podcast. It's fascinating. Go listen
Okay.
after you listen to our podcast, of course.
Yep.
So that was your number one as well, Tad?
My number one
Oh, okay. I thought it was. Okay, sorry.
is, of course, Talk to Me.
Yeah,
Oh,
see,
okay.
I told you.
All right,
Oh,
psych.
you
No.
fucker.
Damn it.
I know.
What if I
Oh.
didn't even list it and I like yelled at Jason to watch it? And I'm like, yeah.
Oh. Damn it.
Well, I will say I like this movie, guys, but it did not make the top 10
Oh,
for
wow.
me. It was good.
Or even an honorable mention. Okay.
Well, I knew it was going to
Jesus.
get brought up in the top 10, so I didn't put it in my honorable mentions.
Huh.
It's really good.
So are we guessing what your
Now
number
we're
one is?
guessing.
Yeah, you guys want to guess?
Okay, I got this one.
Okay.
Do you have an idea, 10? I'm looking
I was
through the
looking at-
list.
Yeah, I was looking through the list earlier and trying
Yeah,
to
I
see
think I know what it is. I'm almost sure of it.
Okay.
I got it. What do I win?
Am I undying gratitude.
Okay.
I think I might know too. You want to do a 3, 2, 1 and list it?
Yep.
Okay. 3, 2, 1.
Brooklyn
No one will
90,
save you.
45.
Oh, Tad won. It
What was
is
it? Yes.
No One Will Save You.
Oh, I should have known that.
Yeah,
But
I
Brooklyn
noticed.
45 was really good too. Although I was a little. It was one of those where the ending. It was
Yeah.
kind of like
Yeah,
you
you're
had
so
me
close.
through this whole thing, and then you just
You gave me some
blew your
Fessenden,
load on
and
the
then you
ending.
did-
Felt like a
Oh.
stage. It felt like a stage play to me, but
he was.
It
It,
definitely
did,
did.
but that's kind of was part of the appeal to me. Although, did you guys watch the trailer for that one? You want to talk about like not watching trailers?
Yeah, that
Reasons to not watch trailers. I was expecting this whole movie to be in black and white because that trailer was in black and white, right?
I think so.
Yeah. And then when it was cut, I was like disoriented for a good chunk of the beginning of the movie. I'm like, this is black and white. Is it going to turn black and white? You know, yeah. Anyway, that's not my number one. Yeah, my number one, Tad was right. It is
No one will save you.
No One Will Save You. Dude, it just
Dude.
really got me.
It's so good.
I
number
really
4.
love this movie from beginning to end. Although, again, ending, like, a little disappointed in it.
Well, it all makes sense.
Well, here's my problem with the ending, right? Is you're right. It makes sense.
And it's fine where it goes. It's that.
It's fine where it goes. It's just like you give me a movie.
Like that.
You get a movie that leaves the gate at 100 miles an hour from the get-go and does not slow down until the ending. That's you're going to lose me with a much more slower ending than the pace of the rest of the movie.
Sure. It
But-
definitely slows down, but
And I'll tell you, again, that debate about watching trailers. This is a movie that don't watch the trailer for, because my favorite part of this whole movie is that first 5-10 minutes
oh yeah.
of the home invasion. Her like hearing these noises.
She don't know.
She's home all alone in the middle of nowhere, and and then it just keeps escalating until it gets like crazy aliens from outer space shit going on, and the whole thing is shown in the trailer. Like my favorite part of the whole movie is like the trailer. So stay away from the trailer, watch the movie.
and
and-
to
sorry.
hit Hulu streaming, like, come on, guys, give this at least a small theatrical release, because the
totally
sound
should've.
design needs to be seen, or like heard in a theater.
Oh,
Fuck
for
yeah.
sure, yes.
Oh, that'd been amazing.
Oh,
With
yeah.
all them fucking aliens running around.
Yeah,
Yep.
that one. This is another one like Hell House that had Nikki like crawling. She was like hiding her face, like, oh
Yeah.
no, because it's coming. It's like,
Heck yeah.
yeah,
And I'm a sucker for shticks like this, but I love the little to no dialogue.
Mm-hmm.
That you could do this whole movie with nothing. That's just brilliant writing and brilliant filmmaking right there, man. And brilliant acting. I'm always impressed when people can give an amazing silent performance. Because you don't have the majesty of beautifully written dialogue to enhance your performance. You have to do it all through your actions.
and it's done by what is this? Brian Duffield.
Yeah.
He did Spontaneous.
Spontaneous.
Which
He
made me
wrote
and
a lot of
Jason's
cool stuff. Yeah.
Love and
yeah.
Monsters.
Yeah,
Movies. The Babysitter.
Babysitter wrote it.
2. Like movies that have popped up on our best of lists over the last 5 years.
Yep. So he's a filmmaker I need to be following more.
A
'Cause,
favorite of our show.
yep, for sure.
Wow,
That's
guys.
it, guys.
Holy
Exciting.
moly.
There's your 10.
I was about to have my mind blown when like Jason had me almost like thinking that your one might be the same as ours, and I was like, there's no way we're
there's
all
no
three
way.
have the same top 3,
Nope, I gotta be
I knew
the
it
odd
was
man
too
out.
serious for him.
and that's fine.
Just
Like
kidding.
that's it's good that we didn't all have, but wouldn't it be wild if we?
It would have been.
Yeah.
Twinsies.
I honestly don't know why it didn't even make the top 10.
Yeah.
There's something about it.
Did you have to watch it on your laptop?
Yeah, but
Okay, well,
that doesn't mean anything.
where's the?
what other movie?
And there it is. Okay, yeah, got it.
He watched it on his phone, like the directors intended.
Right.
Oh, anyway.
Man, there's still some good ones. We might have to next bonus episode. We'll just have to hit all the ones that just weren't
We
mentioned.
watched. Yeah, we
Yeah, maybe
should
we should.
because
Yeah.
if we all watch almost 40 horror movies,
Yeah.
we should get something out of it. So
Yeah, God damn it. And so should you.
Yeah.
yeah, you're gonna have to listen to us fucking talk about them, whether you want to or not.
Oh, man.
So that is it for our top 10 of 2023. But we got
How's
more
it
to.
feel to get it off your shoulders, guys?
Oh,
Oh.
it's
we've been-
bittersweet.
Yeah.
It's like everything building up to this moment, and now it's over.
I mean, we've been trucking hard the last 2 months for real.
Oh, yeah.
We always buckle down there at the end. And my
I've called into work sick for the past 2 weeks. I mean,
don't say that.
I lost my job. My Nikki's divorced me. I stopped eating. I'm very sick and hungry.
I think our lists are pretty good. I can't wait for you guys to see them. And like I said, in general, I thought this year's movies, the quality was way up from last year in general. And I mean, I like a lot of the movies. And my other big takeaway is I'm glad that I still like horror movies. That's the biggest.
I'm excited to hear. Sorry, what the
No.
attackers?
Oh yeah, I know.
Yep.
What kind of crazy shit have they been watching?
Well, we can find out here in a moment. We're going to take a quick break so you can hear a promo for our podcast network, the Prescribed Films Podcast Network, home to over 30 shows, including Land of the Creeps. Woo! Land of the Creeps is a weekly horror podcast that takes an informative yet entertaining look at old and new horror movies, hosted by the man, the myth, the legend, Greg Mortis. So check out Land of the Creeps and all the other shows at thepfpn.com. We'll be right back.
You're listening to the Prescribed Films Podcast Network, home to hundreds of hours of free podcast entertainment. The shows on this network all have a common goal: providing you with the best discussions about movies and other forms of entertainment media. The PFPN hopes to fill your earholes with audio joy. Visit our website with links to all the other amazing shows at www.thepfpn.com. Thanks for listening.
And we're back. It's time to hear from you guys. We want to know what you thought of the movies of 2023. Here's Jason with shout outs.
It's time for
All right, let's go. Let's change things up. Let's get crazy. Let's go over to Instagram.
Whoa.
You know, there hasn't even been a lot of comments. I assume they're all just waiting for us to tell them what to watch. That's what I'm taking it as.
Yeah.
Just kidding. Over on Instagram, we got Old School Video Inc. That's right, the Reapster. He says, haven't seen as much as I'd like. We all agree with that. But Cocaine Bear was everything I had hoped for.
He
See?
redeemed Mike.
Fuck. For short films, We Forgot About the Zombies was epic. Agreed.
Yep.
Oh, we should have. Since we both do. As well as The Pencil
Bonus.
and Greed and Gore. I don't know those by name.
Yeah, well, yeah, you don't judge the movies anymore, but I know which two he's talking about. Yeah, they're good ones.
Cool. And special shout out to a repertory screenings of The Beyond and Frankenhooker. All right. Thanks, Reebster. All right, over on our Facebook page, up first. Ooh, I think it's first time commenter, Chris Gibson. He says, 5 Nights at Freddy's.
Sweet.
Oh, that should have been your number one. We got Lisa over at the Bad Movie Bunny podcast. She says, God damn it. No. She says, Cocaine Bear, full stop.
Suck
No.
God damn it. Really?
It's
it.
okay.
Watch it now.
It's your number what? 2?
Me? No, it wasn't that high. It was 4, I think.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, don't
top
be
5.
ridiculous,
Yep,
Jason.
4.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Up next, we got Ryan O'Brien. He says, I thought Sick was pretty decent.
Yeah, that's one that hasn't got mentioned. That was good.
Yep. I liked Megan, but I wanted more. I just felt like it could have been more scary/violent.
Okay.
You're getting more with
I
Meg
guess.
and
I mean, you
two.
could say it's a sign of the movie's good if you're wanting more.
Haven't seen Thanksgiving yet, but I'm hoping for good things. Well, Tad sure loves it. Oh, God damn it. Up next, we got Attacker Emily. She says Cocaine Bear. What is wrong with you, baby? Okay, and then she also says, this is one that barely missed my list, too. She says Saw X, which shocked the hell out of me. It was way better. It was really good. It was really freaking good. I also have a soft spot for FNAF.
FNAF. That's Five Nights at
I
Freddy's.
know. Because Chicka is my arch nemesis. I don't know what any of that means.
It's one of the furries.
Okay.
I think. I don't know.
It's one of the animatronics.
We got Jacob McLaughlin says, Knock at the Cabin is my favorite actual horror movie of 2023. Nice pick. Totally nice pick.
Woo.
He says, my favorite 2023 horror adjacent movies are Godzilla -1 and Meg 2. Yeah, I'm surprised Meg 2 didn't make your list for the animal themed top 10 that you did this year, Mike.
Didn't get to see it, or probably would have. I did watch that shark exploitation
You love your
documentary.
Statham.
Yeah,
You watched that too, didn't you, Tad? Shark
I
exploitation.
did. Yeah, it's fantastic.
Yeah, it's really good.
All right. Up next, we got Brian Clark. Guess what his number one is? That's right. Godzilla -1.
Oh, okay.
He says Something in the Dirt. I don't know if I got to watch that one.
Oh, yeah. Don't know it.
When Evil Lurks.
Ah, see, there you go.
Yes. Meg 2. And,
Of course, he saw that one.
yeah. And Infinity Pool. Hell yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, you'll like it, Mike.
Since Brian Clark said so.
Oh, yeah. Oh, since he said so.
Yeah, see how it feels?
Damn it. I do see how that feels. It does hurt. And lastly, on our Facebook page, we got Hot Rod. Attacker Hot Rod Hutchinson says, Totally Killer. Insidious the Red Door. Which I thought wrapped up the series really nice. It was good.
Oh, did you end up watching it?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, I
okay.
totally did. It was good.
I don't know. I think I'm just
it
done
was
with
stronger.
those movies.
And then
maybe.
what's
Me
Patrick?
too.
He directed it too, so that
Yeah,
was cool.
yeah.
Saw X, loved it. Loved it. Almost my top 10. Unwelcome. I didn't see that one. I don't think any of us did.
I think I did. I'm trying to remember which
Oh,
one
you
that
did.
is.
Is that the fucking troll one I recommended to Mike Saturday?
Oh, yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
You watched it.
It's good, dude. It is good. I think you guys would like it. It's a dash of Labyrinth with less Muppets and less David Bowie.
More
With-
Jennifer Connelly?
With no, unfortunately,
Oh, sorry.
with a hint of Straw Dogs with less rape and all Scottish. So
Okay.
it's worth it for the creatures, I think, because like
That's cool.
I watched the trailer.
I am still trying to figure out how they did the creature effects. It's like right
Wow.
up there with The Gate as far as like how'd they do that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
awesome. He also says Brooklyn 45. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's great. I really liked it a lot. Cool
did too.
story.
Yeah,
Fessenden in a serious role as Jack Nicholson. It was great.
that's Jack.
And yeah. And,
Oh, and when he shoots his
oh fuck.
and then you just see that big gaping hole in his head. It's awesome.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I was something about that era.
Mm-hmm.
You know, yeah. I've always said I'm not a big fan of period pieces, but for me, it's mostly like periods that I'm so far disconnected from.
Yeah.
But that World War II era, I can watch that kind of shit all day long.
Yeah. It was good. I really liked the lady in that too. She was awesome.
The
Smart
informant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interrogator.
She was. I had to look her up because I recognized her.
Yeah.
I couldn't figure it out. She played the best friend on Mad About You, if you remember.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
she's awesome, man. Hot Rod goes on to say, Hell House LLC Origins, the Carmichael Manor.
Good. It's good.
Is it? Yeah. And then classic Hot Rod style, he finishes with, and just to piss people off, colon.
I know what this is.
Winnie the
Blood and
Pooh,
Honey.
Blood and Honey.
I did end up watching
You
it.
did.
And no.
No?
Here's the problem with
Okay.
it. Like, everybody's hating on this movie.
Sure.
It's not bad for a generic slasher, but that's the problem. You're taking a concept, like making a horror version of Winnie the Pooh and its characters, and you just revert it to a generic slasher. Like, the first couple minutes of the movie I thought was great because it's setting up the lore and putting an evil twist on the 100 Acre Woods thing and explaining about why they have gone bad now and how they had to resort to cannibalism by eating Eeyore and all this, that, and the other thing because Christopher Robins abandoned them when he grew up. So I'm like, oh, this could be really cool. And if we stick in with this nursery rhyme, not nursery rhyme, but child story mythology put into a dark horror element. But, it just turns out to be just Winnie the Pooh and Piglet just being slashers. And it looks nothing more like just slashers in masks. When it's supposed to be Winnie the Pooh and Piglet. But, yeah.
So it's probably better on paper and just didn't.
Super cool on paper, but
Yeah.
executed poorly.
Oh, look, we're not done. There's a flashing red light over there on the answering machine. I'm so nervous I didn't get a chance to screen this. So,
Oh, God.
man, who knows what's going to be on this voicemail.
Hey everybody, Attacker Brian here from my year-end phone call. It sounds like the podcast crew is talking 2023 horror. Top 10 honorable mentions, everything horror in 2023. And there's been some good horror this year. Maybe not the best year, but I think there's been some movies that deserve watch and rewatched. Gonna start out with a couple independents, Follow Her, and Final Summer. Of course, Godzilla -1. That was Finley's favorite for the year. Tiffany's favorite, if we're talking about my household, was Renfield. Also enjoyed Totally Killer and Megan. In my top horror movies for the year, Dark Harvest and When Evil Lurks. I know there's a lot more. There's a lot I didn't get to see this year, but I will try to catch up next year. And I'll talk to you again in 2024. Oh, how time flies when you're having fun and drinking whiskey. Hope everybody had an amazing year. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Godzilla. And you too can always leave us a voicemail and we'll play it on the show. You can give us a call at 415-952-6857. That's 415-95-AOTKP. And that is shout-outs. That is 2023.
Yes, and that puts an end to 2023. As always, at the end of these award shows, I often wonder what new and exciting films are going to be coming out next year.
That will cram in December.
Oh, you literally stole my next line.
Oh.
God, we're finishing each other's sentences.
That's right. So thanks for listening. Follow us everywhere on the YouTubes, Facebook, TikTok, X, Threads, Instagram, you name it. We're there. Special thanks to the attackers who help support the show. And we will talk to you all next year on the next episode of Attack of the Killer Podcast.
Oh no, could this be the end of? Wow. Attack of the Killer Podcast.